To this explainer. Tonight, just like every other night, you're going to do something actually incredibly strange. You'll lie down, close your eyes, and just willingly surrender your consciousness. The whole world around you is going to fade away, and your mind will travel to a place we all visit but honestly barely comprehend. It's the ultimate daily mystery, right? A total philosophical puzzle hidden in plain sight. Where exactly do you go when you sleep?
I mean, really think about it for a second. We treat sleeping as the most normal thing in the world, but it's actually deeply unsettling if you pause and really examine it. You completely lose awareness of the physical world around you every single day. The room, the sounds, the temperature, poof, it all just vanishes. You literally cross a threshold from being an active participant in reality to a temporary resident of this hidden internal universe.
Okay, let's dive into this. 1/3. You are going to spend nearly 1/3 of your entire life in this mysterious, unconscious state. To put that into perspective, if you live to be 90 years old, you will have slept for 30 of those years. 30 years! 30 whole years of your life spent completely checked out of the waking world. That staggering fact alone tells us that sleep, well, it isn't just some optional downtime. It is a massive, defining pillar of human existence.
So, let's look at the first piece of this puzzle, the disappearing act. What's actually happening when we fade out of reality?
Every night, for hours on end, you simply disappear. Now, historically, people thought of sleep as this totally passive state. Kind of like turning off your car engine, tossing the keys on the counter, and just leaving it dead in the garage until morning. We naively assume that closing our eyes just means shutting down. But the reality? The reality is that entering this strange state is something every human being on the planet experiences, yet very few of us truly understand the wild, chaotic activity going on right behind the curtain of our closed eyelids. To uncover what's really happening, we need to shift gears a bit and look at the neuroscience of the unconscious, because I can promise you, your brain is doing anything but resting. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive difference between our two states of existence. When you're awake, your brain is like the tip of an iceberg. It's focused on external awareness, navigating the physical world, talking, working, surviving, all that stuff. But the sleeping brain? That is the massive, hidden structure lurking beneath the surface. The moment you lose external consciousness, a breathtaking amount of cognitive machinery fires up. Your brain shifts from taking in new information to frantically processing, organizing, and repairing it all. It's basically a highly active, incredibly noisy biological factory, and it's working the night shift. A major part of this nighttime factory work happens during REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. This is perhaps the most mysterious and highly active phase of our entire sleep cycle. Actually, if you were to look at a brain scan of someone in REM sleep, their brain activity looks almost identical to when they're wide awake. It's wild. This state is absolutely critical, though. It's the command center for memory consolidation and the primary stage where our most vivid dreams occur. And, fascinatingly, your brain actually sends a signal to paralyze your physical body during this phase. It's essentially installing a biological safety lock so you don't go physically acting out those intense dreams. So while you are completely oblivious to the world, your brain is executing this massive, rapid-fire checklist of hidden processes. It's consolidating memories, taking all the raw data of your waking day and instantly deciding what to keep and what to throw away. It's generating complex dreams. It is literally flushing out toxins to keep your brain alive, all while perfectly managing your breathing and your heart rate to keep your physical body functioning. You aren't just resting. Your brain is desperately and rapidly working to ensure you can even function the next day.
But of course, the most fascinating part of all this nightly maintenance is the byproduct it creates. Let's explore the mystery of dreams and how we create these entirely new realities.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the bizarre spectrum of how we experience this unconscious state. You've got your standard dreams, right? Those narrative adventures we occasionally remember. But then there's this massive chunk of forgotten dreams, these incredibly vivid experiences that just completely evaporate the second we open our eyes. And on the edges, we see even stranger phenomena. There's lucid dreaming, where the sleeper suddenly realizes they're in a dream and can actually control the narrative, essentially waking up inside their own mind. And of course, we can't forget those strange sleep glitches, the sudden jerks, the feeling of falling, or that eerie state of sleep paralysis, where your mind wakes up, but that biological safety lock we talked about? Yeah, it's still engaged.
Which brings up a really fascinating psychological question. Why do dreams feel so real? Think about it. When you're in it, you never question the absurdity. You can be flying or having a deep conversation with a stranger whose face your brain completely invented from scratch, and you just accept it as absolute reality. It really highlights how entirely our brain controls our perception. The illusions our sleeping minds create are practically indistinguishable from waking reality because, well, to the brain's sensory centers, the electrical signals are exactly the same. You are literally living in a temporary universe built entirely by your own neurons.
All of this leads us to the ultimate question in our next section: why we actually need sleep and the evolutionary paradox behind it.
Let's move on and see how this builds, because when we look across history, sleep presents a massive evolutionary paradox. Think about ancient humans adapting to the night. Being unconscious in the dark makes you incredibly vulnerable to predators, right? It's pretty much the most dangerous thing a species could possibly do. Yet, as we look across the entire animal kingdom, every single animal sleeps, from the tiniest insects to the largest mammals. If sleep didn't provide a massive, absolutely essential survival benefit, evolution would have engineered it out of existence millions of years ago. Instead, it's carried over to modern humans as an unavoidable, non-negotiable biological necessity.
So the crucial point here is this: sleep is not an optional luxury. What would actually happen if humans never slept? Well, we wouldn't just feel tired. Without this daily plunge into the unconscious, our memories would shatter, our cognitive functions would rapidly collapse, our emotional regulation would completely fail, and eventually, honestly, our physical bodies would just give out. Sleep is the absolute biological imperative that keeps the human machine running. We disappear every night specifically so that we can exist during the day. Which leaves us right back where we started, but hopefully with a whole lot more wonder. We've explored the hidden processes, the incredible memory architecture, the dream realities, and that deep evolutionary imperative. So as you lay your head on the pillow later, I want you to think about the journey you're about to take. When you close your eyes tonight and the world fades to black, where will your mind actually go? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.